Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Student loan debt. Ugh. That can be a drain on your personal finances for sure. You might want your student loans cleared from the books ASAP. But in some cases, it can actually make sense to hold off on repaying your student loans. If you're on the fence about accelerating your student loan repayments, this podcast is going to walk you through why you might want to wait to pay off your student loans. Welcome to the show today. We're partnering with Chipper to help you understand when it might make sense to not pay off your student loans, and of course when it does make sense too as well. Chipper is an app that can help you manage your student loans, find loan forgiveness you qualify for, and even help you chip away at your student loans faster. And you can check out Chipper in our full review at thecollegeinvestor.com. First of all, let's ask the question, when should you wait to pay off student loans? If you have the income to tackle your student loans, it's really important to weigh out all options. Although it's never a bad idea to eliminate debt from your life, it might not be the most efficient use of your funds. That said, let's go ahead and explore why you might want to wait to pay off your student loans. You qualify for a federal forgiveness program. Of course, depending on your situation, you might qualify for a federal forgiveness program. One of the most common forgiveness opportunities is the Public Service Loan Forgiveness PSLF program. If you work full-time for a government organization, religious organization, or nonprofit, you can qualify for PSLF after making 120 qualifying payments on an income-driven repayment plan. A second popular option is teacher loan forgiveness. As a teacher, you can qualify for between $5,000 and $17,500 of forgiveness if you work 5 complete academic years at a Title I school. Not sure if you're eligible for either of these forgiveness options? You can check out the possibility with our friends at Chipper. Your loans aren't accruing interest. Okay, so the federal pause on payments also includes a break on your interest accumulation. With a temporary interest rate at 0, your loan balance won't grow whether or not you make payments during the pause. As of now, the payment pause is set to expire on August 31st, 2022. The 0% interest rate offers an opportunity to tackle other things on your financial to-do list. So let's explore some of the reasons why you might decide to take advantage of the 0% interest period and tackle another financial priority. Maybe you got some high interest debt you want to take care of, because student loan debt is just one type of debt. Before focusing on paying down your student loans, carefully evaluate any other debts you might have. If you have high interest debt, then it definitely makes sense to prioritize paying down that debt first. For example, let's say you got $5,000 in credit card debt with a 15% interest rate. That's actually kind of low. It would make sense then to put any available funds towards that high interest debt. After eliminating that one, you can consider paying down your student loans. You don't have an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. You might have some extra funds to throw at your student loans today, but you might get hit with an unexpected car repair bill tomorrow. I just took a baseball through my windshield the other day. That's $500. Ding. Most experts recommend setting aside 3 to 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund, and I dipped into that just recently. But if setting aside that much is kind of unrealistic for you right now, consider just building up $1,000 in a high-yield savings account just to act as a security safety net, if you will, for unexpected expenses. If you don't have any emergency savings, consider putting that your top priority and your top financial goal over paying down your student loans ahead of schedule. You never know when an emergency fund will come in handy. Maybe you aren't saving for retirement. Yeah, retirement might seem like a dream from a distant future, but saving early can make a massive difference in your retirement. If you haven't set aside anything for retirement, it's important to make that a priority. Although it's tempting to hold off on retirement savings until you repay your student loans, try to reverse that line of thought. Prioritize setting aside some retirement savings, even if that means not paying down your student loans as quickly as you'd like. You aren't saving for your other goals. Student loans and retirement aren't the only financial goals you might have. Other goals could include saving up for a down payment on your first house, covering the high cost of childcare, or even taking some time off of work to spend more time with your loved ones. Take some time to evaluate your financial goals and priorities. If you have goals that are on the back burner due to a laser focus on your student loan repayment strategy, then ask yourself, if this is what you want. There's nothing wrong with sprinting to the finish line of your student loans, but if you have other priorities, that's okay too. Try to strike a balance between debt repayment and other savings goals that work for your life. When does it make sense to pay off your student loans? So, of course, there are still plenty of reasons why it makes sense to pay off those pesky student loans as quickly as possible. Here are a few scenarios to keep in mind. If you don't qualify for forgiveness options, then paying off your loans as quickly as possible is going to minimize the total interest costs. If you are saving something for retirement, then extra funds will be put to good use by paying down your student loans. If you have relatively high income, you might be able to tackle all of your savings goals at once. High-interest debt should be your top priority, but if your student loans are your only debt, then paying them off is definitely a smart move. As a student loan borrower, you'll have to decide whether or not prioritizing this payment is the right move for your unique financial situation. If it is the right move, then it's time to create a plan to tackle your loans. One tool to take advantage of is the Roundup feature offered through Chipper. It's pretty cool. The platform actually rounds up all of your purchases and puts the change towards your student loan. Every little bit helps when it comes to tackling your loans. Bottom line, student loans provide a way to invest in your future by funding your education. But like all other loans, you'll gotta pay them back at some point. Whether or not you decide to accelerate your loan repayment strategy will vary based on your unique financial situation. And that's all we got for you today. I hope it was helpful and motivated you one way or the other. If you'd like to know more about Chipper and the whole spare change thing, it's really cool and a great tool for you to use. You can find out more just by copy and pasting the title of the podcast right inside the search bar at thecollegeinvestor.com. Thanks again for stopping by today. We'll talk to you again real soon.